Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Aghan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, we're on the third verse of the first chapter, first canto, with a commentary by Srila Visvanatha Cakravarti Thakur. O knowers of Ras, O fortunate souls, constantly drink from the mouth of Shukadev, this Bhagavatam, the fruit of the tree of the Vedas, which has dropped from the tree to this earth, which is immortal, liquid, which is the essence of sweetness, and which includes all types of liberation. This third verse is the final verse of the introduction of the purpose of the Bhagavatam, and now we are being implored that, first of all, you are fortunate to be able to hear this Bhagavatam. O fortunate souls, especially those who know or have even a slight understanding of the principles of Ras. That is the sweet tastiness of one's relationship with Krishna in the environment of Braj. This Bhagavatam comes from the mouth of Shukadev Goswami, and therefore is described to become even sweeter because of his realizations. Of course, that's the essence of something being sweet, when it is discussed by one who has actually tasted the understanding or the meaning of the Bhagavatam, and now is trying to project that so that others may also taste. It's like a cook who has understood some formula and has prepared something and offering it then to all of us to taste it. Taste this sweetness, the sweetness of this preparation. So this is the fruit or the essence of the tree of the Vedas. And it has dropped upon this earth by the grace of the Lord, has appeared here. And it is filled with all kinds of sweetness. It is an immortal, tasty sweetness, and includes all types of liberation. The commentary states that in the previous verse, that is 112, the powers of the Bhagavatam to capture the Lord in the heart was described. Now in this verse, the sweetness of the Bhagavatam is described. Nigama refers to the Vedas. The Veda is a desire tree because it naturally gives fruit in the form of all the various purusharthas. That is the human goal of life. People seek after artha, dharma, kam, and moksha. All of mankind, whether they're following the religious path of the Vedas or not, generally like to focus their life upon arth, which means economic stability in their life. No one wants to be poor, generally, and they want to find some economic stability. So that is called artha. But Veda says one should do it in a dharmic way. So all types of dharma is described within the Veda. From the execution of dharma and the rewards of artha, there is kam. That is the enjoyments or the pleasures of this world are naturally there. And ultimately, the absolute goal is to achieve moksha or liberation, going back to Godhead. Artha, dharma, kama, and moksha. So the Vedas describe these purusha arthas, which means the goals of humankind. However, because of its nature as a tree, being magnanimous, fulfilling everyone's desires, it also gives the fruit which is known as the Bhagavatam. that is the sweetest of the fruit, is the Bhagavatam. And that is the maturity of all of this, and the most delectable of all fruits is called praying, pure love of God. Therefore, in one sense, it goes beyond the goals of mankind, Purusha Artha. It is a hidden thing that only some come to know, the nature of praying. By the mercy of Krishna, by the mercy of Shukadev, who delivers the Bhagavatam, by the mercy of our acharyas and the spiritual master and so forth, we receive this knowledge. Bhagavatam means that which belongs to Bhagavan, for he is the proprietor. Bhagavatam comes from Bhagavan. In other words, it is the book form of the Supreme Lord. And he is the deliverer of this wisdom. From the very beginning, we had read in 4 what is called nutshell verses, or condensed verses, which will be found also later on in the Bhagavatam, when the truth of the Bhagavatam is revealed to Brahma. So from that, the whole Bhagavatam extends out from Krishna to Brahma to Narada to Vyas, and Vyas delivers it to Shukadev, like that. So Bhagavatam ultimately is the gift of Bhagavan, for he is the proprietor. This implies that he gives the scripture to his devotees, and thus persons other than his devotees do not have rights to it. In other words, this is a special gift. Krishna rewards all of mankind in accordance with the deeds they perform, no doubt. But it is like a intimate family, Krishna and his devotees. And therefore, he reserves a special gift for those who identify as with Krishna as their Ishtadeva, their supreme object of worship, devotion, and love. Krishna states in the Bhagavad Gita, as you surrender unto me, I reciprocate accordingly. So generally, Krishna remains quite neutral. He gives us our independence. That's how he remains neutral. Just like a parent, at some point they pull away and, okay, now I've given you some instructions, now you have to do what you think is right or follow your path. So the child is independent and ultimately, according to what choices he makes and the works he does and so forth, he sees the fruit or the result come to him. As you sow, so shall you reap. But although Krishna, in most sense, in context with most individuals, remains neutral, because they are not clearly defined as his devotees. In other words, devotee is one who's, as Krishna says, you surrender to me, and I will reciprocate. As you surrender to me. And so the devotee is one who is fully surrendered to Krishna. 100%, you are my Lord. You are everything to me. And they act for the purpose of pleasing Krishna. That is their life. Their life is centered around pleasing Krishna. So Krishna naturally feels dear. This is the nature of love. You feel dear to those who you give your love to, and they reciprocate and give their love to you. So Krishna feels the same way. And so the special gift of Krishna is that he is the deliverer of prema in the form of the Srimad Bhagavatam. He gives this scripture to his devotees alone. And in one sense, it means that others do not have the rights to it. In other words, they cannot enter into it. The Bhagavatam can only be understood by those who are Krishna's devotees. Galatam means that it falls down of its own accord when ripened on the tree of Vedic knowledge. Not by force, but gently falls. Thus it is completely full of sweetness, Even after falling from the highest position in the tree, it does not break, nor does it lose any of its sweetness. That is because it comes down from the highest position, from the Lord himself, to the branch of Brahma, to Narada, to Vyas, and to Shukadev. It is handed down gently. Thus, without being damaged, it is endowed with liquid sweetness, like honey. The parrot, and this is the reference to Shukadev, Shuka means parrot, the Shukadev makes it even sweeter. He has even made an opening in the fruit with his beak for bringing out the sweetness. Just like sometimes you make a hole in the mango and squeeze out the juice or something like that. So this is the juice of all Vedic wisdom. So he has prepared it, received it as it was handed down, and then opens it for us. He opens it for us. Moreover, having been tasted by him, that fruit has become even sweeter. Moreover, it remains unbroken, coming down step by step from the branch of Sutta and others. Which is implied here is that without Guru Parampara, one cannot drink the Bhagavatam in its unbroken form, just by trying to taste it through the use of one's limited intelligence. It's not understood this. It's the gift of the Lord, and it is carefully handed down through the Guru Parampara system. So it is received also from the representative of Shukadev, who is the spiritual master, like that. Just like Prabhupada brought this Bhagavatam to the West, and then spoke the Bhagavatam to us. We received that Bhagavatam, and we hand it to others, that wisdom that we have relished by hearing from the Bhagavatam, from the mouth of our spiritual master. So this is how the Guru Parampara works, that the sweetness of the Bhagavatam is handed down. Sometimes the spiritual master is called Bhagavad Acharya. It means the Acharya who is preaching or giving the message of the Bhagavatam. How should the fruit be consumed? One should drink it, for this fruit is the essence of taste. It is rasam, devoid of skin and seed and any other objectionable part. Loya means liberation, or the attainment of liberation. But it goes beyond, this Bhagavatam goes beyond even the limited concepts of liberation, such as becoming one with the Lord and so forth. It takes us to the realm of ras. And therefore, upon tasting it, here it says, though one will not be able to drink the nectar when one has fainted, but one will, what is implied is that it is so intoxicating and wonderful that one will swoon in the nectar of the Bhagavatam. But when the fainting wears off, one again awakens consciousness and begins drinking until one faints again. The sweetness of the Bhagavatam. Entering into the nectar of the Bhagavatam. It is transcendental intoxication. Swooning in the nectar of the Bhagavatam. One may lose consciousness, and then when consciousness comes again, we'll drink some more. For one cannot give up drinking this Bhagavatam. Therefore, the word mahur is used. Continuously hear the Bhagavatam. Or mahur can have another meaning. Though one has drunk it, by again drinking it, one develops more relish for it. And thus the word is aho. Aho means, oh wow, surprise. But I've drunk it, and now I'm hearing it again, and it's even more relishful. Aho, oh, how wonderful. Oh, knowers of rasa, rasikaha, O Rasikaha, O knowers of rasa. This refers to the devotees, for they develop a bhav, which becomes the sthayi bhav. That is, the sthayi bhav means that which ultimately is situated within our heart and draws us closer and closer to Krishna, because it has established a relationship. A relationship has become established by hearing the Bhagavatam, and that it becomes the permanent relationship that one feels for Krishna, and so that is called sthayi bhav, the continual relationship that the devotee has with the Lord, and that can only grow more and more. This refers to the devotees, for they have developed a bhav, a sthayi bhav, a feeling for Krishna, and in that position they can taste the rasa of the Bhagavatam. Therefore others cannot, because they already have Krishna awakened within their heart. Therefore he says, O Babukaha, O you auspicious persons, you are most auspicious, because you have developed a relationship with Krishna, who is the supreme auspicious, and you have developed a taste for hearing this Bhagavatam. Another meaning of Bhavukaha means that persons who perform actions for tasting the beautiful. That's sweet. Persons who perform actions for tasting the beautiful. Krishna is the all-attractive personality of Godhead. Krishna the beautiful. And one wants to develop a relationship with that which is beautiful. Actually, beauty is that which ultimately draws us to anything. The beauty of music, the beauty of the sunrise, whatever is beautiful, we naturally have a taste for that. Inherently, that's there within the soul, that we want to taste beauty. And that which is beautiful brings us pleasure, happiness. So Krishna is the absolute personality of beauty. And so those who are wanting to taste this beauty perform those actions by which they can achieve that. Just like we may hear something like, Hawaii is so beautiful. We may see some pictures, and we develop a desire to go there. Then we make arrangements. How am I going to get there? So in the same way, we hear about Krishna. Oh, he's so beautiful. We develop a desire. We see some pictures. We hear some relishable pastimes. We see his beauty in the deity form. And then, as a devotee, we want to cultivate that thing that will get us there. What do I need to do to get there? And then we learn about our sadhana and practice. But Tanyak says that a permanent emotion is established by actions relating to tasting the beautiful. When you get a little taste of Krishna, even a little taste, you want more. Taking this meaning, Bhavukaha indicates persons who appreciate the Lord, who is Ras personified. He is sweetness personified. Krishna is Ras, and he is the fruit. But this fruit is not directly situated on the tree of the Veda. It has fallen nearby. This object, Ras, is not on the tree. It is not to be searched out in the Vedas. You won't find it on the tree. It has become, therefore the Vedas, in one sense, has become inconsequential because the fruit has already dropped. Therefore, you won't find it by studying the Vedas. You have to hear it from the mouth of Shukadev. It is found in the mouth of Shukadev. One can say that Vyas, knowing that this fruit was very tasty, took it and put it in the mouth of his son out of affection. There's a sweet exchange sometimes you see in India when there's affection for someone. They will take a sweet and put it in someone's mouth. Both Guru Patni and I have experienced those who have been somehow charmed by us or something would put some sweet within our mouth. And we're surprised, but it's a wonderful expression of caring or love, like that. So here it says, Vyas, out of affection for his own son, put it in his mouth, this sweetness, this Bhagavatam. Shuka Mukhat. The ras is sweeter because of coming from the mouth of Shukadev. The sweetness of ras is shown in Shukadev's statement. He states, because the devotees accept me as their friend, their relative, their son, their preceptor, their benefactor, and supreme deity, they cannot be deprived of any of their possessions at any time. This is Krishna's statement. So this is included in the Bhagavatam by Shukadev. Devotees accept me as their everything. Krishna is our friend. Krishna says, I accept them as such, as a relative, as a son, as a preceptor, as a benefactor, as the supreme deity. Therefore, I give everything to my devotee. This is the ultimate understanding of the Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharmam parityajya mamekam sharanam. You give everything to me, Krishna says. But he is not a thief. He will reciprocate that to the highest degree. Bhuvi then indicates Braj Bhumi. Bhavukaha Rasikaha. This indicates those who are very dear to Krishna and refers to the gopis. O dear relishers of Krishna's ras, drink the sweetness of this ras arising in the form of this Bhagavatam. Relish this ras up the point of embracing Alayam, Krishna, here, like we see. Krishna is embracing. Devotee wants to embrace Krishna, and Krishna wants to embrace his devotee. We hear in these stories that Krishna, oh, how long I have been waiting for you to come, from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Like, I've been tracking your progress, when you will come to me, like this. So Krishna's ras is indestructible, and it flows away quickly from the mind and the eye. Therefore, drink that indestructible nectar in the form of his lips. Who gets to taste the lips of Krishna? The gopis. So ultimately, this is leading us into the Gopi Bhav, the Bhagavatam. Taste the sweetness of the lips of Krishna. Krishna wants to give himself to his devotees, but first he says, you have to make the first step and come to me. And then I will reciprocate accordingly. Prabhupada used to say, take one step to Krishna, Krishna takes 10 steps towards you, meaning he will be even more eager than you. And so every time we make a step, Krishna comes a little closer, like that. I worship Lord Govinda, the Brahma Samhita states. Jasya pravato jagadananda koti, koteshva ashesha vasudadi vidutabinam. Tad brahma nishkalam ananta ashesha bhutam, govindam adiprusham tamaham bhajami. I worship that Supreme Lord Govinda, whose powerful form radiates effulgence, which is known as the undifferentiated, unlimited, all-encompassing Brahman, which is completely distinct from its powers, displayed in unlimited planets throughout billions of universes. I offer repeated respects to Krishna, who is Turiya Atito Gopalas Tasmai Vai Namo Namaha, to that Krishna who is beyond all the states, 4 states of wake, dream, and sleep, and even beyond the concept of the impersonal Brahman. He is the supreme embodiment of sweetness, and he wants us to taste that sweetness, and thus he has appeared within this world in various forms. In the form of his holy name, in the form of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna Katha Krishna Puja Nama Sankirtan. That was our formula. We expressed from the very beginning of establishing the Chaitanya Vaishnava Sangha that one should hear about Krishna, chant about Krishna, and worship Krishna. And then the reciprocation of Krishna comes in the form of Krishna Prema. That is the gift of the Lord to us, his own love. And we can express our love towards him by hearing about him from the Bhagavatam, chanting his name, and worshiping and seeing his transcendental form as the Thakurji or the Murti, along with Radha by his side. Jai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol, Jai Shri Shri Radhe Shyam.